In this lesson, we're going to review the usual complex scenarios that are related to finance professionals and the importance of VBA to help them deal with these scenarios. Finance professionals around the world are usually experts of Microsoft applications, especially in Excel. They are required to work long hours with these programs, having to extract relevant information from enormous data sources, requiring advanced Excel techniques, formulas, and tricks. Due to this, many finance professionals learn easy navigation techniques to execute tasks more efficiently to save time. For example, if there's a data that requires duplicate values to be removed, an average Excel user will navigate through the Data tab and then select Remove Duplicates function, whereas the finance professional will just use the shortcut key Ctrl+AM in order to remove duplicates. This is similar to the case with copy, cut, paste, print, highlight, border, alignments, auto adjust, find, and other functions which are used repeatedly, due to which the users have mastered their relevant shortcut keys to reduce the need to navigate each task manually. The same can also be interpreted for VBA. It can be viewed as a shortcut function that the users can design themselves to execute with just a single click. These can be multiple shortcut key instructions combined, or giving Excel completely new instructions not included through shortcuts, or in advanced cases, giving instructions that are beyond the Excel navigation interface. Let's take a look at an example and some of the more typical examples that finance professionals can relate to. Suppose that you have thousands of worksheets waiting to be renamed, or hundreds of workbooks that you want to combine into one, or there are certain sheets that have your requisite data and you want to compile them into a separate workbook. Or let's say there's a series of repeated procedures that you perform every day through your database reports. Or what if there's a particular pivot table data that you want to select from the database pivot table report? These are only a few examples when a person really starts to sweat and ponder whether there's something they can do to automate these repetitive tasks through automation, just like an Excel shortcut key. Sometimes there are also instances that are beyond the scope of basic Excel navigation itself, such as having to remove all foreign language characters from a worksheet. The best way to assess the importance of VBA functionality is to think of a complicated procedure that you want to automate in Excel. Then ask yourself whether learning VBA will help you design a procedure or function that can automate the task. After taking our course, you'll be amazed that the answer to most of these procedures will be in the affirmative. In the VBA, there are countless procedures, functions, objects, statements, etc. that are power-packed with tools and endless numbers of libraries to help to communicate with the interface and design any solution to your problem. There are several pre-prepared codes also available scattered throughout the internet that you can easily use without having to write code from scratch every single time. So this comes down to the question, why is there a need to learn VBA for finance professionals? Well, the answer to that is simple. The job market is continuously evolving, and finance professionals are required to update their skills and remain competitive. This also complements the scientific approach to carry out every task, where you break it down to the smallest possible level to automate repeated and redundant tasks to save time. The concept is applied in working with huge data as well. Finance professionals usually have a series of tasks that they need to work on with database reports or finance reports. If you look at these tasks on an annual basis, they're usually repeated and performed on various different Excel workbooks, but there's a lot of monotony, and some automation can bring efficiency to these tasks. If every finance professional can break down these tasks into individual processes, they can automate them to save time. What is interesting to note here is that many finance professionals are already doing that. Let's take a look at a typical use case scenario that we have developed as an example to represent and illustrate how much time is spent working through a simple database report. Suppose one of the tasks that we have is to extract a monthly sales report, format it, rename the sheet with the name of the workbook, then create a pivot table. And once we are done creating it, we select a particular field and value and sort the pivot table to rank the data according to the total sales made. Then, from the extracted data, we copy it to a PowerPoint presentation to be presented to a steering committee. After that, the PowerPoint file is saved in a common folder where it is emailed to a group of recipients. Now we're going to expand on our example to show how, in real time, how much time is spent with these tasks. We're going to start with an insurance sales report. It displays the sales made by agents in January. We will begin with this sheet and work through the example to illustrate how many steps it takes to do the repetitive task. In the first step, we will rename the sheet as the Excel usually names the sheet, Sheet 1 by default. We will rename it exactly as our workbook name. Next, in the second step, we will format the date to a format showing months as text. Next, in the third step, we will format the currency format in the policy sales column to give the $sign next to each sales value for better presentation. In the fourth step, we can add more columns to the database to do calculations. In our example, we will add a commission column to calculate 10% of commission earned by each agent based on the policy sales amount. In the fifth step, we will use the Home tab option to format the database as per our standards, such as font style, size, and color alignment. We will also add the option of bold, italic, underline, cell text alignment, and borders. In the sixth step, we will create a pivot table report to summarize our database report and extract relevant information. Next, in the seventh step, we are now summarizing the pivot table to get the relevant data fields only. Here we are selecting the agent column in row field of the pivot table field list and claim type column in column field of the pivot table field list. We select the policy sales column as value field of the pivot table field list. Next, in the eighth step, we will format the pivot table as it usually displays the data as unformatted text. In the ninth step, we will also sort the pivot table with the total of policy sales in descending order in order to rank the agents based on the policy sales made during the month of January, with the highest being at the top. By default, the pivot table usually sorts in alphabetical order. Next, in the 10th step, we will now go one step further and introduce a different Office application. We will now save the pivot report results in a PowerPoint presentation. We will follow steps such as open a PowerPoint presentation, select a slide template, make a header, paste the results, and save the file with a name that is usually the same as the Excel file. In the last step, the PowerPoint file will be used to email a specific group of recipients or to a specific person. We will have a custom salutation, subject, and message for the email. In the example we just went through, we have shown 11 steps that have numerous sub-steps. Just imagine if you had to go through the same routine every single day. It would consume most of your time. You'll be surprised to know that all of these tasks can be automated through VBA with one single click. That means saving potentially hours and hours of your time so that you can focus on things that matter and more challenging roles within your organization. One of the most impressive features of VBA is that it can be coded in a way that interacts with multiple Microsoft applications. This means that it can be automated to do a function in Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Access without needing to code the instructions separately. In our example, we have introduced a similar concept where we're trying to automate our general tasks through VBA automation in multiple Office applications. By now, we believe that you must be excited to learn more about VBA so that you can automate your tasks and save time. Hey guys, thanks for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe from you. And if you want to learn more about Microsoft Excel, check out these videos above. And don't forget to check out our website, commercecurve.com, where we have lots of in-depth finance and accounting courses available with full training workbooks. All of our courses come with complete workbooks of lessons, examples, pre-built financial models, and training video. Hope to see you there.